Let's bring him on, man, for the culture.
Professor X, and I already see it. I didn't have to ask for it.
Unbelievable, dog.
What's
What's
going on,
happening,
Chico
Chuck?
brother?
Got that thing open right there. Dr. Charles Bishop, HBCU not game day, inside the HBCU lab, also correspondent on game day, is what I was trying to say. You can catch him on Sundays, Tuesdays, and Thursdays on Inside the Sports Lab with Dr. Cavill. When he joins us on Sunday Nights Live, it is for the culture. We know him as Professor Charles Bishop. Y'all know him as BA. And that's not BA Marcus from the F team.
That stands for badass.
That stands for booty on.
We're gonna get to for the culture. Let me ask a real quick question. Is
Yes,
82 games too much? We're seeing these Achilles pop with some of these stars. Are we playing too many regular season games? By the time these guys get to the playoffs, they get this strained calf, and you know what's gonna happen next.
Yeah. And strained calves are something to deal with, and it lingers on too. When I saw Halliburton go down, I was like, did he come back in that game? I wasn't able to finish.
Not tonight.
Not tonight, no. And that's what I was thinking. When I saw him go down with a strained calf again, that's something you can't play with, man. That stuff make you like you're going to see a real limp because you can't put any stress on that to push off of that calf muscle at all. So, I don't know. Is 82 too many games? I mean, it hasn't been for years and years. Like it is now, decades now. Yeah, I'm sorry, decades. Sorry,
It's been a long. They've been playing 82 for a long time. And then even now, you got built-in load management. You don't even have to play all 82. So,
and then you're supposed to have better training.
Yeah, I will say this. Shout out to Halliburton. Shout out to that guy, man. Get well soon. Appreciate what you did. You made it entertaining finals. But now here comes the shade. It always seems to hurt when you turn the ball over. When you make a shot, I don't see no grimace. When you take somebody to dribble, you're laughing and playing. But as soon as your ass get ripped, he's like, oh.
Yeah, point taken.
Nah.
I can run the footage on all of them. All of them this whole playoff series. Every time it's a turnover, it's like, oh my God. And then the announcer come out, oh, it was such a discernible, noticeable lip. Like, I ain't seen no lip. What are y'all talking about? I haven't seen him lipping. Now, when he went down tonight, he went down. I'm not taking nothing away from that, y'all. But those past games where they were hyping it up, I was like, dude, he's running up and down the floor and jumping. Like, what are y'all talking about?
Yeah.
So
is it too many games? Or I don't think so. I do see a difference in, somebody said in chat too, they're wearing a lot of low top sneakers. And that is something different from back in the day, like 80s and 90s.
Man,
you wore a high top sneaker. Now,
just All-Stars and didn't hurt his.
Say that again?
I said Dr. J wore them canvas All-Stars. They were high tops, but didn't hurt
They were high top, though. They were high top.
Right.
But they were flimsy.
But at least they were high top.
I think
so
you
I
wonder Chico on that.
That one is the high tops.
Yeah, nobody wears high tops anymore, but it's just
they want to look cool. I hate when guys they don't wear like they wear like the low rise. What do you call those ankle socks where you can't see the socks? I hate when guys wear that in football and have their ankles exposed, no tape, no sock over it, no nothing. Like, what are you doing? Like, that look crazy to me. So, yeah.
I do want to mention this, Chuck, before you get into your segment, man. Got to take a moment to remember that in 1972, a crack commando unit was sent to prison by a military court for a crime they didn't commit. These being promptly escaped from a maximum security stockade to the Los Angeles underground. Today, still wanted by the government, they survive as soldiers of fortune. If you have a problem, if no one else can help, and if you can find them, maybe you can hire the 18.
I don't know the hell we was going with that.
Goodness, man.
I was like, I remember
I'd have heard this shit somewhere before.
I remember the preamble to the 18. I was like, where's he going?
They're still out there. If you can find them now.
Yeah.
Maybe you can hire them.
Yeah.
Regulators.
Hannibal. Shout out to the guys, man.
No doubt. Let's get into it, man. Let's get into it. And this was coming back from last week. Commissioner Charles McClellan. He talked about the SWAC. They're going to be opting into the House settlement. So basically, you'll have the SWAC. They'll have no scholarship limits, just like every other FBS team, but it'll be 63 scholarships that we saw in FCS that will be spread out over 105 different players, 105 players now. So that's significant for the SWAC to be, I don't know, sort of opting into the House settlement. How it all plays yet, I think it still remains to be seen, but it's significant, and this is a statement from Dr. McClellan. This is undoubtedly a significant moment for the Southwestern Athletic Conference and the 12-member institutions as we move forward into a new era of intercollegiate athletics. The SWAC remains steadfast in its commitment to provide our membership with resources needed to positively impact our student athletes academically and athletically. So, it's a positive step from a SWAC commissioner standpoint in terms of the SWAC opting into the House settlement. So we'll see how that plays out in terms of how teams go about putting together their roster going forward.
Let me say this, Chuck, because I don't want nobody to think I'm against it. I love it. I love opting into the settlement, even though you didn't have to, because you weren't one of the Power Four conferences that were sued. Thereby, you're not mandated to participate. But for every yin, there must be a yang.
Very much so.
And then the opting into this, and now you remove scholarship limits, which, those people still have to be paid for by some order of operations, if you will, whether it's equipment, a dorm room, feeding them, whatever it is, it's still a cost to it. But then the other part of opting into this was that you opt into the paying players now. And it's going to be interesting to see around the SWAC how that all fleshes out in the wash. Like, for instance, here in Mississippi, you got 3 SWAC schools, Jackson State and the capital city, Alcorn down there at Lorman and Valley at Itabena. There's a cap on what you can pay, but everybody doesn't have the same to pay as far as under. And will you see this pilfering, this cannibalization, not only within the SWAC, but also people departing the SWAC, because you could go to, say, a USM or a UAB next door and make a little more.
Right.
So it's that opting in, which I'm for, it comes with some headaches as well that got to be figured out.
And the part that I hadn't figured out, now that the school can pay the athlete directly, is what happens to the collectives. I've read, when you especially look at the Power Four conferences, collectives could move inside of athletics or whatever the case might be, but not sure how that kind of works out, at least at what we know as the FCS level, in terms of what now do people, decide to put their money into whomever collective. So. Yeah.
And that cap at least is based on, it's almost like a child support formula, Chuck. That wasn't a shot at you, that was a shot at me too. It's mathematically figured out from a percentage of what your revenue and ticket sales are. And so those are going to be varying across the SWAC, but that is the limit. Like that's the upper limit. You can't go above that. So again, you can see a situation where being on the basketball team at Jackson State, I'm using small numbers with zeros because my math is bad. Being on the basketball team at Jackson State with no scholarship limits could pay you, say, $1,500, but being on the basketball team in Valley may pay $300, and being on the team in Alcorn may pay $600. Like, all of that stuff has to get navigated out. I'm going to be interested to see it, because I'm going to tell you, Chico, when you start putting all this stuff in the same box that's happening rapidly, you almost, as Chuck talked about, have the death of collectives just after they were born, as far as necessity. Then when you look at now that JUCO no longer counts towards your eligibility, now you look at the Power Four can pay and pay more. It's almost like the HBCUs and the JUCOs could seemingly swap places as far as their tiering, because now you can go play the JUCO 2 years and not count against you, and still go play at Ole Miss 4 years and still get that whole 4th and a 5th there. I'm telling y'all, man, you're going to have 27 and even some 28-year-olds still playing college football.
Absolutely.
Wow.
One of my good friends in college when I played, of course, you got to bring it back to me, like we said last night.
I love it. All roads lead back to Chico. Chico,
when
let me
I
tell you
played,
something
hold on, let me say this. Hold on.
Chico, this real quick. This is a directional thing because you only been on the Mississippi once when you came over here coaching. I don't care
I've been
where
there
you are in
before.
Mississippi. You can find a sign that's going to direct you toward Natchez.
That is true.
You could be on the coast. You could be up by Memphis.
That
You
is
could be
true.
you're going to find a sign that say Natchez this way, but you don't be nowhere near Natchez.
Why? Natchez like one of the famous places, tourist destination or central?
Yeah. And so that's Chico. It's like, okay, where we at the conversation, there's going to be an off ramp and say, hey, you trying to go to Chico? Go right here.
This can relate to Chico right here. Now,
Man.
talk about 28-year-old football players in college. One of my good friends in college was 28 years old, married with a couple of kids, but his route led him to football because he was in the military, right? So so we've seen it before because of military, but now it's going to be more. That was one guy on the team too, and he was like everybody called him an old man and unk. Hell, you're gonna have several old men and unk on teams now moving forward with the way this is set up. So hell, I wish I was coming out now. If I had a scholarship coming somewhere, I look at JUCO now much more than what I would have done in the past.
Coach Prime had a young man that was a linebacker, right? That was in the military and played.
Turley.
Turley.
Yep.
Yeah, he went to military first, so he was old man. Turley was like 26.
See?
And you had Mate, the kicker for Colorado this year, punter. What was Mate, 27?
Yep. Hell, you got new Mate. I don't know if he's older, but he's played some professional ball down in Australia. That's on Colorado's team now. So, and before you go on,
shout out to everybody in the chat, man, who got that 18 reference. Y'all are crazy as hell.
Yeah. And shout out to everybody in the chat who got that second ACT word that Unc put out there, and it was pilfering. Pilfering.
I like that one.
So far, we've had bevy and pilfering.
Pilfering. That's like
use
to steal or to steal small amounts.
Somebody in the chat use it in a sentence before we get out of here, and the best one might get a discount code for some merch. I don't know. Might.
Pilfering.